Charlotte's Fusible Web thread, also known as Superior Low Melt, is a must-have in your crafting tools. Charlotte's Fusible Web is a 100% nylon fusible thread, think adhesive, that is a great alternative for fusible applique, especially when multiple layers are involved. It can also act as a tack or longer lasting hold when hand stitching or needing a semi-permanent bond. Nylon filaments will separate because it is not twisted. This is intentional. This allows the fibers to spread when it melts to create a better bond. When using the low melt cones, be sure to use a handy net so the slick fibers don't fall while stitching. Using Charlotte's Fusible Web for applique. Use it only in your bobbin. Wind your bobbin as normal using Charlotte's Fusible Web and place bobbin into your sewing machine. Put any thread you'd like in the top of your sewing machine. We recommend using polyester thread as it is easier to remove. This is a great way to use up those almost empty spools. Trace your applique shape onto your fabric. Do not cut it out yet. Stitch with the top of the fabric up so that the Charlotte's Fusible Web in the bobbin is on the wrong side of your fabric. You can zigzag stitch or straight elongated stitches around the applique shape. Try to stitch as close to your traced outline as possible without going over it. Leave a tail at the end of your stitching. You will use it later. Cut your shape out on the traced line of your applique. Place your applique shape onto the backing fabric at your desired location. Tuck the Charlotte's Fusible Web tail under the applique piece along the edge and leave the top thread tail hanging out. Iron your applique piece right side up for approximately 10 seconds. After you are done ironing your applique, carefully lift the tail of the top thread. It should come off easily with no picking out needed. You can discard this piece now. You have a semi-permanent bond that will give you time to put a decorative stitch around your applique. This can be done by machine or hand, like a blanket stitch or a zigzag. We are using a variegated king tut. The advantage of using Charlotte's Fusible Web thread is that it allows you to adhere your applique without glue buildup and stiffness, as well as not having to cover the entire shape in glue, which makes it harder to stitch or quilt through. You can also snip or cut out the extra layers underneath to eliminate bulk and shadowing of darker fabrics. Attaching your binding with Charlotte's Fusible Web. Use a cone of Superior Low Melt in the bottom looper of your serger. Use regular serger thread for the other threads in your serger. Serge your quilt edges, keeping the quilt top facing up and the back facing down. Attach the binding to the front of your quilt. Fold the binding over the edge of your quilt and iron down to the backing. This will keep your binding secure until you are ready to stitch it down. No pins or clips needed.